Thank you for joining us. This is Foro Politico, and now I want to welcome Mr. Brian Owens. He is the defense lawyer for these businesses that they're been suing by supposedly gender price discrimination in Riverside, California. Mr. Owens, thank you very much for coming with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're going to start with this. First of all, how did those businesses approach you? How did they get to you?
I was just approached by one of the businesses, and from there, the remainder of them had followed.
And then explain to us about this gender price discrimination, because supposedly we do not know about this. And many businesses, they did not know about this.
Correct.
And then if you can explain in a brief, because I have about this Assembly Bill 1088, but according to Mr. Morales, it's another one, since another bill that talks about this gender discrimination. In a brief, what is all about it?
So the Gender Discrimination Act generally says that service providers cannot discriminate in pricing based on gender. So they can't charge a woman more than they can charge a man, and vice versa.
But if you go to every place, there are different prices. I mean, this is not about the haircuts, it's about the time that they spend with their client. Or how, I mean, I don't understand how did this started in those years, in 1995, or when did this was created by the legislators?
Correct, I believe it was 1995 is when this was specifically passed. This is a part of a larger statutory scheme called the Unruh Act, which protects civil rights for individuals. And what it was they had found that there was some price discrimination occurring in salons and in dry cleaning businesses. And so they kind of specifically targeted the statute to ensure that that wasn't occurring.
Is there any case that you can tell to us that that's why this come out, this 1995 law?
No, but just reading through the legislative comments for that statute, there is history that they discussed.
Have you ever had these kind of cases, representing these cases like gender price discrimination?
These cases are rare. You usually see them more for car washes where they have ladies' nights, or bars or clubs where they have ladies' nights, and men are excluded or they have to pay a cover price where the women don't.
How many cases are you representing? What kind of businesses are you representing?
Currently, with this string of lawsuits, I'm representing salon owners and dry cleaners, and I have 7 at this time.
And the fact that their businesses and the owners, they're Latino immigrants, most of them they're Latinos. You have white people, African American, or another nationalities and other races?
There are a couple of other nationalities involved. Predominantly, they're Latino.
But there's nothing. This nothing had to do anything with that race, with ethnicity. Can we say that?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it has nothing to do with race or ethnicity.
Then once these businesses they did not comply with this law or regulation, what benefits do they have in case to defend themselves? Even though they say, okay, they supposed to have the sign which would show the prices of their services, but how can they defend themselves? Even though for those ones they do not know about this regulation.
Correct. So the businesses can defend themselves in 2 ways. First, the statute allows you to charge men and women different prices if it's not based on their gender, but it's based on the time or the skill or the work that's involved, or the equipment or the products that are involved. So if it's based on something other than gender, there can be a price difference, and that's what's happened here. Second, the statute has a provision that requires the posting of pricing, and that provision has a 30-day period. So there has to be written notice to the owner for 30 days before a lawsuit can be brought under that provision.
Did your client receive that notification about that?
No, none of my clients received notification until the filing of the lawsuit.
Then it looks like it's going to be a piece okay for you.
Well, as far as the $1,000 penalty for the notice issue, that should be kicked out.